Hi everyone, this is Melissa with Mindful Therapy Practice. This is part 3. I apologize, it's taken me 3 videos to do this. Alright, let me get to the screen. So, just a summary of the past 2 videos. We were covering developmental trauma, specifically emotional neglect. We were going through negative beliefs that we likely experienced growing up because the reality is that it was our reality at the time. And now in our adulthood, hopefully we are removed from those environments, and we have a safer environment now. And we're going through the Personal Bill of Rights. These are rights that all humans have. And we are starting at, let me run through them so that this video is a little faster, okay? And I'm reading from the slide. Just many of us like to receive information in an audio form and a video form, so this is for you. Here we go. We left off. Here we go. So I have the right to be uniquely myself. I am myself. For example, I struggle with small talk, and I could be socially awkward at times. I could be really quirky. And so I can be uniquely myself. I can be myself, and hopefully by being myself, I attract people in my life that accept me exactly for who I am. And in a work setting, I could be myself in a way that's respectful, in a way that's not imposing on others, and I don't have to change who I am as long as I'm not hurting others. In any form, I can be exactly who I am. And I have the right to feel scared and say that I feel scared, absolutely. If something is scary, let's say we have a partner that drives really fast, and we might have had traumas in the past that involve fast driving or car accidents, or we just might feel out of control, we can tell our partner, that experience was really scary. It's okay to say that if you're in a safe enough relationship, and if you're in a safe enough environment. Hopefully you are, to express exactly how you feel, and you're allowed to feel scared, and you're allowed to bring attention to that and resolve that, and hopefully make changes about that. I have the right to say I don't know. Absolutely. Growing up, we might have been expected to know everything, even things that we weren't taught how to do, and we're learning now as an adult. Absolutely, it's okay not to know. If somebody asks a question that you don't know about, it doesn't mean that you're stupid for not knowing it. It simply just means you don't have that information, and that's perfectly fine. I don't know is a perfectly fine answer. I have the right to not give excuses or reasons for my behavior. If I am declining an invitation that a friend is inviting me to a party or an event or something, I have the right to say no, and I don't have to give a long answer or explanation for me declining the invitation. I can simply say no, I'm not available. Period. I have the right to make decisions based on my feelings, values, preferences, and logic. I can make my own decisions based on my feelings, values, preferences, and logic. I can decide who to be friends with, where to work, who to invite to my gatherings. I can decide what I do spiritually. All of these are decisions that I can make as an adult, absolutely, based on my preferences, feelings, values, and logic. I have the right to my own needs for personal space and time. Absolutely. We might need more space than others, and it's okay to share out loud with someone. I need a little more space. I'm feeling intruded upon. I'm not comfortable in this space. That's absolutely perfectly fine. I have the right to my own needs for personal space and time. If let's say we're dating, and we're meeting new people, it's okay to not want to be too close physically. It's okay to not want to disclose things that feel too vulnerable or too personal. We're allowed to choose when we want more space or we're allowed to choose when we want to disclose and be vulnerable, if we want to. I have the right to be playful and frivolous, absolutely. Some of us were not allowed to be playful growing up, and we're used to only being serious, but we are absolutely allowed to have fun, to be playful. I have the right to be I have the right to be healthier than those around me. Let's say we come from a family that is more toxic and dysfunctional, meaning the communication is not respectful, boundaries are not maintained and respected. I have the right to be healthier than my family members, absolutely. And it doesn't matter if that they may not change. I can change my boundaries and enforce my boundaries. For example, when my dad calls and he is talking about politics, I have the right to say, I'm not having this conversation, and I'm going to hang up if we continue to have this conversation. Or if he says he wants to talk negatively about my mother, I have the right to say, I'm not having this conversation. She's not here. I'm not having this conversation. I will hang up if we continue to speak about her. She's not here. I'm happy to speak about you and I. We can talk about our plans, and you can talk about you and I, and that's all. So I have the right to be healthier than my father. I have the right to be healthier than my friends. All right. I have the right to be in a non-abusive environment. Absolutely. I have the right, if, let's say I choose, some of us want to emotionally cut off our parents and family members, which we have the right to do so. And the reason why we might want to do that is simply because that is just a natural consequence to their behaviors. For example, if I invite my dad over and he is using bad language, or he is overly critical and maybe even critical of my son, I have the right to say, I think it's time for you to go home. I think our time together has come to an end today. And that simply is just as a result of a natural consequence to his behavior, right? So I have the right to be in a non-abusive environment. I have the right to not allow that kind of negativity in my home. I have the right to be with a partner who is not physically, mentally, verbally, or otherwise abusive to me. I have the right to not be yelled at and screamed at by my friends or siblings, right? I have the right to be in healthy relationships and environments. I have the right to make friends and be comfortable around people. I have the right to change and grow, absolutely. I have the right to have my needs and wants respected by others. Coming back to I have the right to change and grow. Sometimes we get into relationships without having done a lot of our internal work, and so our partners might be used to us keeping our heads down, or us not being as vocal about our feelings and needs and requests. And we might find that as we grow, as we do our work in therapy or just on our own, that we might become more assertive, that we might become more vocal, and we're allowed to have that change, and that change might not be compatible with the relationship that we have. So it is encouraged for the partner to also have some growth, and be accepting of the new you, and or the relationship might come to an end. You might have outgrown that relationship because of your growth, and it's okay for you to choose to be in relationships where you are with individuals, adults who have that emotional maturity that you have that you have worked on yourself. So I have the right to have my needs and wants respected by others. Absolutely, I have the right to have my needs and wants respected by others. Let's say, in my house, I ask that people take off their shoes. It's okay that in my house I have that request, and if people are compliant with that request, and it's I have the right to have my needs and wants respected by others. It's okay that I'm also requesting, not to receive advice or criticism. Let's say I have a family member that comes over and is criticizing the way that I'm raising my son. And I have the right to say, that's not helpful. I'm not asking for your advice on how to raise my son. It's okay for me to set that boundary of please don't impose yourself on my parenting, and that negativity isn't helpful and isn't desired. It's okay to have those needs of respect and respecting of my boundaries. I have the right to be treated with dignity and respect. Absolutely. I have the right to be happy. Yes. So that's it. We covered the personal Bill of Rights. There are 25 of them. There will be a handout, and the references will be there for you to explore if you wish. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for hanging in there with me. See you next time. Bye.